Hello, hello, and welcome back for a little mournful melancholy and sweet, soft sorrow as I mark the passing of Perfidious Manor's most fabulous fool in Darkest Dungeon. And fools and foolery are doubly appropriate today as we mourn poor Simpkin, because like the fool from the tarot, I heeded not the warnings all around me and unwisely and unknowingly stepped from the edge of the cliff when I chose to engage the shambler. And now, in punishment for my hubris, Simpkin lies dead. My poor broken fool, his lyre and bells forever silenced, his motley tattered, torn, and stained with blood. Never again will he delight a group of seekers with a bawdy song and a joke as they huddle around a fire in the manor's tenebrous tunnels and shadowed sewers. Never again will he encourage a trepidatious team with a noble song of battle, and never again will he slice off a chunk of cruel cultist. But despite the tragedy of Simpkin's loss, my seekers and I did learn several valuable lessons about the changes in the dungeon in the most recent patch. 1. The night is dark and full of terrors, so don't fucking fight in it. When in a dungeon, torches are your friend. 2. The Shambler is almighty, so leave it the hell alone, otherwise it will devour your soul and also probably your liver, which you need for living. And 3. High-level monster criticals blow harder than South African soccer fans with vuvuzelas, so don't friggin' get hit, because you're gonna regret it if you do. And as much as I'll miss my humble fool, I still just can't sit around moping forever. Simpkin was a man of song, fun, and jest. He'd not want the hamlet mired in grief over his loss, so let's grab down to the embarkation point, rustle up a team, and sing a song of vengeance as we head down into the dungeon to jam a lyre up someone's unsuspecting ass in honor of Simpkin's loss. Hellion's hairpin, very rare. Also very bad, so we're not really interested in that. Also, I don't really want to tangle with a boss. I definitely want to do a regular veteran dungeon before we go down there to tangle with a boss. We haven't done one yet with the new patch, so it seems like that would be foolhardy in the extreme. This charm is really good. Plus 2 speed, plus 15% damage. Big penalty to stress resist and a huge penalty to virtue chance, but this thing is actually quite worthwhile. Gathering 3 grain sacks I do not like, however. That ring actually is not terrible. This is not fantastic, but it's not terrible. This is kind of bad. Bleed skill chance is interesting, but the penalty to crit probably overall is just not worth it. What are you? A sacrificial cauldron. Bad. Okay, no, not good. We use our occultists in a very healing capacity. This would be not a good item for them. So, I really like the look of this Berserk Charm. I'm pretty sure this is what we're going to do. So let's put together a team to head down into a medium dungeon. And this time, if the Shambler comes a-calling, we're not going to fucking answer the door. I mean, we're just going to leave him outside and just let him knock. Alright, so let's go with Ron Weasley. Give me a little Katniss Everdeen on backup. Garrett or Bruenor? We could go either way on this one. They're both good. I think we'll go with Bruenor. He's got more experience in this case. What are we going to use as our 4th man, though? Do we have a healer of any kind? No. Florence Nightingale is out of action. We actually can't do this mission. We do not have a healer of the appropriate level. Florence Nightingale is in for stress relief. We could take Garrett Stax or Arya Stark, but I don't want to do this without somebody who can heal. I mean, I need someone who can heal, and none of these guys can cover that particular. Damn. Alright, well that's admittedly a bit of a kick in the dick. I really like the look of that trinket. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have to do a highly ranked mission. And as our first time in, I think we should definitely... Ooh, what are you? Ancestor's Pen. Plus 5 crit to melees. Ooh, that's really good too, though. We got a lot of really good options. Something for the Houndmaster. Bonus protection. Small... the damage penalty actually is not that big a deal. The dodge penalty kind of sucks. That's interesting as well. What else have we got? We already have one of those. We already have 2 of those. I kind of like the looks of this. Plus 5% crit to melee skills. That's a pretty big buff, and the thing that I like the most is the penalties for this are pretty unremarkable. It's a long champion dungeon to explore 90% of rooms, though. That's going to be a bit of a tough row to hoe, but you know what? If anybody can hoe that row, it's going to be our A-team, so let's do it. Let's grab them. It's time to roll out the boys. We're grabbing Face Man. We're grabbing Hannibal, B.A., and Howlin' Mad Murdoch. I think, of course, Randolph Carter, clearly the Howling Mad Murdoch of this group. I mean, definitively. Mostly because he may actually just be a madman, or possibly some kind of elder god. This is our team, though. We're doing it. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're getting in there. We're going to take it to the team. We're going to avenge Simpkin. Make sure you bring his lyre along, too, because seriously, when I said that we were going to jam that up someone's ass, I wasn't joking. I mean, we're actually going to jam that up a monster's ass. So let's grab a bunch of food. I'm going to, again, I'm going to over-prepare for this one. It's a long mission, so we're going to go... you know what? I'm going to bring 6 shovels. When I said I'm going to over-prepare, man, I'm seriously considering ridiculously over-preparing. I want more torches than this. Yeah. So I probably just spent 10,000 gold on preparation, and I'm not ashamed of it. We haven't done a dungeon of this level in the new mix yet, and I don't want to risk losing one of our legends. This is a team of legends, folks. We can't afford to take a stupid risk and sacrifice their lives. And if a chance to fight the Shambler comes along this time, yeah, we're just going to pretend it's a Jehovah's Witness. It can knock at the door. We're just going to hide in a basement and wait for it to go away. Let's take a look at our dungeon layout. It's not good, but it's also not the worst layout we've ever seen. So we're going to progress through this one, and we're going to take a look at what our layout looks like and where fights are and whatnot. There are a couple ways we could path through this. We can skip 2 of these rooms. There are several different ways we could path through this. We're just going to try and make sure we do it. Well, this is not an encouraging start. The dodge from Madeline Usher on the stressful incantation, however, certainly helps a great deal. Alright, so some pretty solid damage there. Little munch on Maddie. She resisted. Man, these guys are hitting pretty hard. And so 19 damage from Roderick Usher. Again, that's some solid output. Go for the facial... go for the kill. I want to try and take that guy out before he gets a chance to go. That leaves a corpse. Maddie is going to get some of that damage back, as well as doing 11 of her own. So a 5-point heal. She's still down a bit. A little bit of munch for Roderick Usher. Shouldn't be much of a problem for Sir Roderick. Let's go for the facial stabbing. Our clear cultist friend there is dead before they get a chance to increase our stress. He's already gone. Let's just go for the group heal. We'll put everybody back in full fighting trim. That's got it sorted, and yeah, that's fine. We can dash forward. Now, we have some fairly significant penalties to his melee skills for Half-Cock Jack. Half-Cock Jack is geared by design to be all ranged at this point. Can anyone eat this food? Somebody's got to be able to eat this stuff. Somebody? Okay. I hate wasting food, man. I really do. Don't like it. Alright, so this is an occultist bit. We're going to use our bandage here. What do we find? What do we find? A pretty hardy haul. Again, wasting food, man. Alright. I could send that. There's starving kids in other countries. They could use that food. They'd be happy to have it. But no. Darkest Dungeon just wants me to throw it on the floor like a thoughtless scumbag. I mean, there are people around the world who would love to have that food, but Darkest Dungeon, no. They're just not having any of it. Do we take a fight in an empty room, or do we use a shovel? You know what? I think we'll use a shovel and go for the fight. We have 6 shovels. Theoretically, we're not going to need all 6 shovels, so I don't really mind using one early. Potentially, that's an empty room. It's also a room worth skipping. Let's do a couple torches here. 1 torch is enough, actually. We'll just do 1. In we go. Let's fight this fight. Fight the good fight. This one's for Simpkin, guys. Seriously, I want to see this cultist with a lyre sticking out of her ass at the end of this fight. I want to see it bent over with the handle of a lyre sticking out of it. Or, this guy too, whatever. Not one of the pigmen, because I think they might actually be into that. So not of the swine, but either this cultist champion or this cultist witch. One of the two, at the end of this, better be lying on the ground with the neck of a lyre sticking out of their butt. We're going to focus on the cultist back here. I don't want her throwing stress attacks at us. Stress is going to be a serious problem. Stress in high-level dungeons appears to be the new meta. It's actually not the danger, the health of the enemies that's the limiting factor. It's actually the stress, because our team criticals a lot less than they used to, and stress reduction from criticals is significantly reduced. Higher-level monsters also critical more to compensate for some of that. So, see, as you can see, we get a critical, double critical there. We got no stress relief from that. Not a single pip. So stress is going to be considerably more difficult to manage. That's the new meta for the Corpse and the Hound update. Look how much stress we got for taking 1 critical there. That was pretty significant amounts of stress. We got 20 damage out of that grape shot blast. Man, we got to kill these stress guys. One fight and everybody is... This is... Alright, little butcher's cut. We're still doing okay. We're taking a lot of damage as well. So one of our stress causers is down. Roderick Escher cannot kill this guy, so he's going to go for the Jacques and try to get the double kill. And we got halfway there. It's suboptimal, but it is what it is. We need this guy dead. He is dead. That's good. That just leaves our little piggish friend. Gonna have to have Madeline Usher throwing some pretty significantly sized heals. This ball and chain. Alright, we came out ahead on that. Now the stun is not ideal, but we can deal with it. Not ideal, but we'll deal. Even though it's not ideal. Oh, just smite him. There we go. Alright, so critical, some stress relief, maybe? The critical stress relief has been vastly reduced in its effectiveness. You can't rely on criticals anymore to keep your troopers out of trouble. Alright, so we got 3 people who are bleeding. How big are these bleeds? Fucking huge, actually. Alright, so let's eat some food. We're gonna fill up here. Top you guys off. We'll take some inventory space. What do I want to haul out of here is the question. I think probably emeralds are the right thing to take out of this blob. Fortunately, we have the luxury of not really needing any other heirlooms. Most of our heirlooms are pretty well sorted. This bleed, I'm telling you, ridiculous. All right, let's get a couple torches burned. All right, this is good. Somebody's getting a damage buff out of this, and that somebody is going to be Half-Cock Jack. Oh, yeah. So an extra 30% damage for Half-Cock Jack. That is a not inconsiderate upgrade. That's going to make a big difference, especially when he's using his AoE skills like Grape Shot Blast. It's going to do quite a bit more damage for us. That's a solid pickup. One of the reasons we bring those medicinal herbs right there are those moonshine barrels. Let's have Randolph Carter check out the occult scrawlings. He has gained a negative quirk. That's terrible. What was it? It didn't say. So he has resolution and a blue dome. Okay, clearly he just shrugged it off then. Alright. That's the thing about occultists. This is why we bring them along. When it comes to interacting with dangerous interactable objects, they got the charmed existence. They got the magic touch. Probably because they are, you know, actual magic, but still. Little stress for walking. Our light level's getting a little low. Let's crank another torch there. Finding a trap, that's unfortunate. How much stress did we get from that? 13. See, the 13 stress is a way bigger problem than the 4 damage. It really is. The 4 damage is largely insignificant. The stress, though, we're going to have to try and find some food at some point in this dungeon. We can't really afford to eat any more food. We're going to have to try and find some. So we're going to mark this large stress eater here. Or flesh eater, stress eater. I wish he ate stress. If he ate stress, we could probably reduce our sum. Going to throw a heal at our occultist. He's got the mark down. That's fine. We're going to go for the smite. We're getting some extra damage and a critical. Solid output there from Roderick Usher. A lucky point blank shot here. Not quite lucky enough, but we got a pretty good portion of his health done. Here comes the pig spear. I hate that ability. It does so much damage. Wow. So the criticals for the high level monsters are kind of out of hand, actually. They critical, even in high light situations, their critical ratio is sort of ridiculous. We got 6, not as much as we necessarily needed. Tentacle Devour, at least it didn't critical. It did undo most of our healing, which is suboptimal, but at least it didn't critical. So we're going to Grape Shot Blast, it'll hit them both. Little Trot Retreat, dodged, good. That's a stun attack, which we would definitely like to avoid. Our Flesh Eater has fallen. Alright, what are we going to do? Well, let's just crack them open here with the pistol shot. We can fire those from the 2nd rank, that's fine. We're going to start doing some heals. Randolph, buddy, we need a little more out of you in the heal. This fucking unbelievable. So clearly we prioritized the wrong target. We should have been killing this guy the entire time. He's doing way too much damage, and with the increased high-level monster criticals, it's unsustainable. He simply hits too fucking hard. So we gotta get a mark on this guy. Theoretically, we should have probably healed there, actually. That was unbelievable. We have 2 troopers on Death's Door now. We definitely should have healed. Death's Door is so much stress now. So much stress. This guy is fucking undefeatable. Alright, so we gotta go for the Divine Comfort. We got 2 people on death's door, we gotta get him off, and if he just keeps pig spearing us, this one monster is going to end our run. His protection is off the charts. We just don't have enough damage. We're doing half damage to this guy. He's getting pig spear every single time. I'm very unhappy. I'm very unhappy. This corpse has 32 hit points, so we don't really want to hit the corpse. Let's try and get rid of a little stress here. This will give everybody something to do. We're going to go for the AoE heal. If he pig spears, we're going to definitely lose ground. He's coming up to the front because the corpse has finally rotted away. So we got that going for us. That was a critical strike from Randolph Carter, and we only got 10 damage out of it. 9 points. We kind of need a bleed attack or something in here. High protection monsters are really going to be a problem. Well, you know, I say that, but that's not necessarily true. The high protection monster wouldn't really be a problem if he also didn't have an AoE attack that does absolutely absurd damage. And a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous chance to critical. It's his criticals that are really kind of the problem. Alright, we're going to have to rely on Randolph to kind of fix this one up, because we do still need to do a little more healing. Randy finally getting some done, and... oh, come on, Roderick Usher. Alright, so we're getting good dodges, at least, on that attack. It must have a terrible penalty to hit. Still, that did not go well for us. We got a lot of stress. Mostly what we picked up in that fight was stress, and we picked up a pretty considerable amount of it, and we still have a whole hell of a lot of dungeon left to trace through. Yep, we got a lot of work in front of us here, Roderick Usher. A lot of work. The house has fallen completely down, and it's not going to be easy to rebuild that son of a bitch. I think we go for damage here because Madeline Usher is our most injured unit, and this attack does damage and heals her simultaneously, so definitely the right choice there. Absolutely going to Grape Shot Blast. That gets us 1 KO, badly injures these 2 spiders. Roderick Usher theoretically could finish both of them off with a little Jacques, which is why we're going to go ahead and throw a heal at him. He also did just get blighted, which is going to do a lot of damage. Web is basically irrelevant. It did mark the target, but doesn't matter. Both of our enemy units have gone. Alright, let's get the Jacques out. Double kill. Fantastic. That fight went pretty well. Then again, it was just a couple spiders. Not really anything too terrifying or challenging there.
But a victory nonetheless.
Before we go into this... oh, another... I really wish we had another medicinal herbs. We can't afford to drink out of that without the herbs. We really can't. Let's crank our torchlight. In we go. Let's get this next room out of the way. We're about a third of our way to our goal here in the 25th hour of our telethon, and if you could call and pledge even just $1 single to the Perfidious Manor Estate Cleansing Fund, that donation would go a long, long way to helping some desperate children in need. Although there are no children that live at the manor, and pretty much everybody here is in need, though, so... we were lying about the kid thing, but really, we could use the help. Things are pretty fucking awful. Our ancestor was kind of a scumbag, and we need all the help we can get, really. Randolph Carter, we can't tell what team he's on, so, you know. Alright, so the trap is unfortunate. We haven't gotten scouting a single... we haven't... yeah, as I'm thinking about it, I don't think we've had a single scout the whole time we've been in the dungeon. That's definitely not good. It seems like scouting chances have been somewhat potentially reduced, because last time we were in a dungeon, we got scouting a couple times, but we had quite a bit of plus scouting as far as items go. So we can go down, over, up, down, over, and up, and then we can skip whichever one of these two looks the worst in the event. No, oh, I take that back. We actually did get scouting one time. We did scout once. So maybe I've got a little bit of an observation bias swinging there. We're just going to keep passing those weapon racks up. I'm not going to interact with interactables. We can't afford to risk the stress. We're down to 1 stack of torches, and we still have quite a bit of dungeon left to go. I'm getting a little nervous about this one. Granted, we haven't camped yet, which is in our favor. We can... when our torchlight next gets low, I think camping might be what we do, even though we would have to give up the buff there, the plus 30% damage from Half-Cocked Jack. Little unfortunate, but I think we're going to need the stress relief. Randolph Carter picking up a surprising amount of stress from that trap. There's some scouting. Okay. Maybe it was just we had a little bit of a dry spell there. Maybe we're just in a little bit of a drought. Maybe our mojo was off and we were pitching our best lines at the ladies at the bar and they just weren't having any of our shit. They were just not into our nonsense. Alright. I'm trying to decide on my path. I'm considering backtracking, going up, over, and skipping that room so we can avoid this fight. But that seems particularly cowardly. Do I want to risk... This room is empty. Yeah, okay. So we're going to camp in here, then. This room is empty. It'll be a good place to camp. Let's do that. Drop the firewood. We're going to feast. Get the repast. 8 of our food is gone. Alright, so let's see about getting a little bit of stress relief here. Zealous Vigil is really good. Accuracy bonus, which is good. Gallows... Oh, we got a Gallows Humor. We also need to clean guns. So if we clean guns and Gallows Humor, that's 8 of our available time. But Gallows Humor is yeah, we got to do it. Alright, so first we clean the guns. Then we Gallows Humor. Big stress resist there. Okay, that is looking good. Okay, well done. Alright, that leaves us with 4 time. 17, we could abandon hope. There are tangible benefits to that. Encouraging chanting only does 1 companion. Blessing has a bonus accuracy, bonus dodge. I think this is worth 2 time. I really do. So let's give that to Roderick Usher. And then we could also chant if we wanted to. I think we'd be better off, rather than chanting, to just go with an encourage. If his stress was higher, I would abandon hope, but at 17... we're actually going to make a net gain of 2. We would gain 2 stress heal and shuffle the rest of it around. So we'd be better off to just have someone encourage him. So let's have Madeline Usher instead encourage Randolph Carter. That nets us 10 stress heal total. And then we're going to rest. You've seen nothing you're not prepared for? What about that Swinotar who absolutely devastated the group, Sir Roderick? Were you prepared for that? Because you didn't really look that prepared, buddy. Alright, so we did get ambushed. Not unexpected. The dart level here is going to be a little bit problematic. We are at just about the worst possible light level one can be at. This man has got to die. Blanket fire is going to be a very significant problem for us, so we want to make him be all of the dead. So let's just start working him over. Halfcock Jack, admittedly, is not in the most fantastic spot, but we got to get him dead. We got to get him dead. The Rain of Whips is going to be a little bit problematic, too, especially if it has very high bleed coefficients, which we know that it does. So we're going to be a little careful there. Slice and Dice. That's 18 aggregate damage. That's significant. Fortunately, the point-blank shot hitting Roderick Usher, and we're definitely going to want to keep Roderick Usher in the front line here. With his huge protection status, he's going to be our best bet for taking those point-blank shots. If one of those hits Halfcock Jack or one of our squishier team members, a critical from that could be literally from full health to death's door, So Roderick has tons of HP, tons of protection. We're going to keep him in front and let him do his job. Sometimes you got to let the tank, man. You got to let the tank. Roderick Usher doing his part. We're going to go for a little heal here. Let's throw this at Maddie. Alright, so 6 is not necessarily what we would have hoped for. And that's why we've got Sir Roderick in the front, right there. Taking that critical and taking only 13 damage from it. That's pretty remarkable performance. Randolph Carter almost undoing all of that with a single shot. Halfcock Jack getting a little critical for our team. Nowhere near as much of a stress heal, though, as we took from the critical. A little stress relief from the critical heal is nice. Roderick still slicing and dicing, taking another punishment. No critical this time, which is fine. He is bleeding. Man, the bleed's really stacking up. There's 12 damage worth of bleed on him there. Let's see if we can undo that. We actually undid the entire bleed damage and then some. Madeline Usher, time to switch into offensive mode. She was the worst injured of our party, and we can get a little bit of damage out of her. Halfcock Jack is not dicking around, man. The pistol shot, he is not dicking around. Alright. If we have to ditch anything, we'll be ditching those crests, but we're in reasonably good shape. We can only skip one more room, so I'm thinking we'll probably go up, over, and up, and that'll let us skip that room. We're going to have at least 2 more fights. At a minimum, we're looking at 2. A lot of blood coming out of Sir Roderick Usher there. A lot of blood. You know, there's only about 5 liters of blood in the body, Sir Roderick, and I think you just left about half of yours on the floor there, champ. You should consider, I don't know, transfusion, maybe hit the blood bank. I don't know, something, man. You're bleeding out, is what I'm saying. Oh, the vomiting. So the stress attacks are going to be a problem. We got to start working the stress-causing units over immediately. Drums of Debilitation, nice dodge. Little hook where it hurts. Half-cocked Jack doesn't hurt him quite so bad because that half-cocked moniker Well, it's there for a reason. The man only has half of a dick, so hooking him where it hurts is actually... Well, you know what? I gotta give this guy credit. If he can successfully hook half-cock Jack where it hurts, that's remarkable accuracy. I mean, half-cock Jack has got half the size target, theoretically, as a normal man, so hooking him where it hurts should be, theoretically, twice as difficult. That sucked. Ton of stress from that. Wow. We got almost 30 stress aggregate over the group from that one attack. That's quite a bit. Alright, so we kind of need to kill here, Randy. Yeah, we should have healed because you are a bitter, bitter disappointment. A bitter disappointment. We did get 1 KO, so we don't have to worry about the drums of debilitation. The vomit is a problem. Half-cock Jack is starting to stack up the stress. And he's catching a butcher's cut as well. That's death's door. That's even more stress. Hook where it hurts here. Oh, don't. Ooh, half-cock Jack with an enormously critical dodge right there. Yeah, the difficulty on Darkest Dungeon, folks, it's much more difficult than it used to be. Although we did get kind of unlucky with back-to-back criticals, I gotta admit. That's a little kind of bad lucky. The dodge, Randy, you're not getting it done, buddy. You're not getting it done. The damage from Abyssal Artillery is not what it used to be. You gotta be shitting me. Everybody swings at half-cock Jack? No one has swung at anyone but half-cock Jack in like the last 4 turns. And I know they upped the AI to make this more difficult, but that's kind of nonsensical. I mean, they have already said that healing is not designed to keep pace with the incoming damage. It literally shouldn't be possible. And then to have the monsters all just target one guy over and over and over again, that doesn't seem more difficult. That seems almost just weighted in favor of the monsters. I mean, permanently. It doesn't seem more difficult. It seems kind of insurmountable. Alright, so we're down to just 1 enemy, and we're going to be able to hold our own here. This Butcher's Cut is not doing us any favors. The 0-point heal was definitely not what we needed. That 21-point critical heal was much better, however. Roderick Usher is actually going to heal himself and go for a little stress relief. I really do like that Inspiring Cry has dramatically more stress relief attached to it now. Back-to-back zeros, Randy. Alright, well, we can't afford to take another turn to have Randolph Carter not heal. Jerk. Alright, so let's grab our loot. The crests and heirlooms I don't really give a shit about. Let's just throw those on the floor. Let's get, our party isn't order enough. Let's hope there's some food here. Nope, the meal is not fully cooked. We did resist the disease, however, which is very, very nice. So, at least one positive thing coming out of that fight. Man, the bleeds. Picked up an unburnt torch. That's good. Let's just go ahead and use that right away. We don't have room to carry it in our inventory, so we'll just burn it from where it stands. Roderick Usher is very badly injured. Empty room here. We are going to have 1 fight. The fight and opportunity to start throwing some heals at Sir Roderick early. Let's hope it's not anything too devastating. We do not want to see another fucking Swinatar champion here. And just in the interest of making this fight as winnable as possible, we're going to max our light level. This is just what we needed. Excellent. And we got surprise. Okay, good. We can pull out of this then. This is going to be fine. Randolph Carter, for once not healing for 0. A surprising and welcome change. Madeline throwing 24 back at him. So Randolph getting pumped up. Roderick, rather, getting pumped up. Man, a point-blank shot did not kill a maggot. They have significantly powered up these maggots. They have 80% protection. Wow. So these guys are basically immune to damage. We gotta kill this spider, then. Randolph Carter picking up a blight. That is not a small blight, either. Alright. Well, he's gonna heal himself and basically manage to undo the blight damage that he's gonna take next round. The Grave Nibble, it doesn't do massive damage, but it is still a stress attack, which is a bit of a problem. I'm actually gonna switch to single target here. We need more damage to try and start getting some kills. Little pistol shot. There we go. That's what we needed, Jack. Gonna go for the AoE heal. I was hoping we might get a little bit of a crit and then some extra stress resistance out of the critical. It also helped keep the blight damage under control. I think we still gotta throw a big heal at Randolph. I mean, Sir Roderick, rather. Roderick is pretty banged up. We'll have half-cocked Jack slip forward. I think we'll smite. And then we can point-blank shot. A point-blank shot should be enough to finish this guy off, even if it doesn't critical. I'm gonna heal. Randolph has a lot of bleed damage on him. A lot of blight damage, rather. Man, these guys hitting for 7. Maggots are considerably tougher than they used to be. Considerably tougher. I mean, that was their goal, was to make the high-level dungeons a little more difficult. Alright, so let's... I don't want the busts. I want the cash. I spent like 10 grand coming into this dungeon. We've gotten nowhere near that much cash. Alternatively, we are probably not going to need these shovels, so... Next time we have to abandon something, I'm thinking shovel is probably the right item to get rid of. We may drink that anti-venom. Alright, so here's a fight for us. We did get surprised. That's good for us. Alright, we can do some stuff here. Big grape shot blast from Half-Cock Jack. And I'd like to point out, even the critical was not enough to get the kill. Alright, so we're going to try and soften this guy up. And what we'll have Randolph Carter do is throw an Abyssal Artillery that theoretically should be able to kill both of these guys before they get a chance to go. And minimize our stress. Excellent. Alright, so we didn't get them both killed, but we did do some solid work. Let's go for a little Jacques. Starting things up. Alright, now it's enemy team's turn. I kind of want to kill this guy. You know what? I'm doing it. We'll hit the corpse. Mostly I was concerned about killing the stress unit. These guys just do damage. Damage we can handle. The bleeds are going to be a bit of a problem because they poke right through Roderick Usher's protection as if it weren't even there. So we're going to go ahead and get that cultist bastard right out of the picture. Let's let Half-Cock Jack start firing the old pistol. Butcher's Cut coming in. That's going to double up on the bleeds. 6 damage around for 3 down. He has 18 damage with the bleeds on him. We got 12 of that back, but still. The bleeds don't really seem to keep pace. I mean, players don't really have the opportunity to stack those kind of bleeds. You'd need like double Hellions or something to even come close. The criticals, man. Unbelievable. They may have overdone it on the high-level monster criticals, because I'd like to point out, we're in full light here. We're getting criticaled this often, and the monsters have no bonus to their criticals. This is why we made a mistake fighting the Shambler. In the darkness, monster criticals, they're just insurmountable. They critical just too much. You can't deal with the kind of aggregate damage that's coming your way. Alright, let's check out this heirloom chest. We'll just use the key to get it out of our inventory, make sure we don't find a trap. 100 gold and 8. Yeah, it's fine. Are packs laden with loot often low on supplies? You know, I think I might like to have the loot. So we have 3 more fights before we can get out of this dungeon. Alternatively, well, yeah, there's no way we can do it without fighting 3 times. We could go up, backtrack 3 fights, plus extra stress for backtracking, so I think the right move is to just go forward here. Cult Scrawlings, giving Randolph Carter a positive quirk. Yes, steady. What did it replace? It replaced Armor Tinker, so, I mean, theoretically, steady is an improvement. With all rank 5 gear, Armor Tinker was not useful for Randolph Carter. That being said, it's not like steady is a gift that we would choose to spend 5,000 golds to lock in either, so... Alright, what do we got here? Little Ren for the old gods. Man, the criticals! We're taking so many criticals. And we're still in optimal critical level as well, as far as light goes. Criticals are supposed to be as much in our favor as they can be. A little Eldritch Push. I have every confidence that Roderick will withstand that. Even if he does, he can Holy Lance his way back to the front, so it's not really a big deal. Some good damage from Half-Cock Jack's Grape Shot Blast. Still working fine. Still working as intended. Roderick Usher with a little Jacques. Just leaving this cultist champion who's going to rend us for the old gods. 7 damage and another bleed. Alright, let's patch some of that up. This guy's all but dead, so we're going to take our time and double heal here. You know what? I was kind of curious whether or not that would kill him. I didn't think we'd get enough damage to actually do a fatal blow. But I underestimated Half-Cock Jack very slightly. That's fine. Dead is just as good. Let's find some things to kill. Well, if you would stop... And instead of delaying the thing by encouraging us to go find some things to kill and just let us keep walking to where we already know for certain there are things to kill, Randy, it seems like you'd be getting a chance to kill all that much sooner. I mean, your enthusiasm is thwarting your goal. You gotta bring it down a little. I mean, you're at like a 7 in the enthusiasm category. We need you at like a 4. 20 damage. Holy fucking shit. That wasn't even a critical. That was just a regular spit on a marked target, 20 damage. That seems stupefyingly high. So we're going to get 10 of that back. Here comes another spit. 12 damage. On the plus side, we did resist all of the bleeds, and these guys are low health units. So one of them is dead. Let's go for the smite. 2 of them are dead. Now we just have the far back units, which are going to be a little more difficult to hit than they used to be. And I'm thinking we got to go for Abyssal Artillery. An AoE heal would not go amiss here. Just get a little bit back for everybody. Shoot that guy. Nicely done. This leaves 1 spider. He's going to spit at half-cock Jack for 7 fucking teen, because that's not at all bullshit. Wow. Alright, so we're going to heal, because I want you off death's door, and we don't really have an attack that hits that position at any rate. And it's a damn good thing we did. So shoot that thing. Alright, so you have it. These are legends, folks. All of these guys of legendary seeker status, and they're still really kind of fucking getting worked over. We're going to drink this anti-venom because we have to. Alright, we're going to eat 1 thing of food, again, because we kind of have to. I'll take the Vestal Chalice. It's fine. Crests. We could use the crests, but again, they're not really vital to our endeavor, so we'll leave it for now. We do have a trap up here, which theoretically we're going to have to disarm with half-cock Jack. That's what I was worried about. We get no end of dungeon stress relief unless somehow we can find 2 food between here and the end of the dungeon, which really fucking blows. I mean, half-cock Jack picking up 8 stress relief by disarming a trap. We're going to max our light level. We're actually going to... Okay, we have holy water that we're not going to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to drink the holy water, which gives us resistance buffs. We're going to drink that and go in here. We'll just drink up the holy water. We weren't otherwise going to use it. We might as well take every advantage we can get coming into this last fight. Beautiful dodge from Madeline Usher. It's a little bit of munch. Not really a big deal, especially considering we resisted the blight. That's good. I'd love to start targeting those back 2 units, but we need to start patching up half-cock Jack. He's in a real bad way. We got to do it again. Alright, so that's got Jack sorted. We're going to have... We can start working them over. We patched up Jack, and in turn, we can have Jack start working these guys over. Grapeshot Blast was only going to hit 2 targets, so it was probably, I think, definitively the wrong move there. Let's start smiting this Corpse Eater. It's going to take some beating here. It does not have protection, but it does have abundant hit points. Now I think we... Oh, yeah, nicely done. Randolph Carter with a big critical there. Very useful, sir. Very useful. Here comes the Munch. Little crunch and munch. Not having it. I don't like caramel on my popcorn. You can take that crunch and munch and stick it straight up your butt. Assuming you have a butt. I mean, you're some kind of giant worm monster. You definitely have a place where food would go in. I assume you have the corresponding orifices where whatever is left of food comes out. But as an elder abomination, I mean, I haven't exactly studied your anatomy. Randolph Carter probably knows, but honestly, I'm not going to ask because I really don't want to know. I really don't. Turnabout is fair play. We're going to trade mark for mark here. You send one of mine to the hospital, I send one of yours to the morgue. You come at me with a knife, I come at you with a bat. You come at me with a bat, I come at you with a gun. This is how the dungeon works. This is the Chicago way. The Perfidious Manor way. That 30-point critical is a nice way to cap off our adventure as well. So, victory in a high-level dungeon, but, it's not like we won that one by... I mean, it wasn't a blowout. This isn't one that we won by a couple touchdowns. This is like a... We got a last-minute field goal kind of win. I don't really feel good about it. Alright, so the dungeon is finished. We're going to continue adventuring. Couple things we want to do here. First thing, let's get a camp in.
A moment of respite.
We might as well eat the food just to get it out of our inventory. Mostly what we're concerned about is stress relief. And I think Gallows Humor... It's going to handle pretty much everybody. Oh, that was nice. Okay, good. All right, so the Gallows Humor's got everyone down to 0. And we can then just encourage taking care of that as well. That's good. We'll Zealous Vigil just because it's fun. And that should be... we still... fine, stand tall as well. We'll stand tall, we'll Zealous Vigil. And I'm going to go ahead and rest because I do want to loot that last chest. I wanted to empty out some of my inventory a bit before we went for the chest. We already got ambushed once. I'd say, what are the odds we get ambushed a second time? But if I say that, it's pretty much guaranteeing that we're going to get ambushed. And any ambush take 8 billion stress, so I'm just not going to say that. Instead, we'll have Randolph Carter open his heirloom chest. The contents are ours. What are those contents? 25 gold and a portrait. Well, not necessarily what we would have wanted, but still better than a trap that caused 800 stress to a single unit. And on the plus side, this Ancestor's Pen, this is a real good trinket. I mean, this is +5 critical to melee skills is really, really good. Gotta figure out how we're gonna best employ it, but that is it's a fine pickup for us. It really is a solid contribution. Let's see what kind of 8 billion diseases we got. Yep, so for a rare change, we actually didn't get punished for coming in. Replace Second Wind. I would have rather kept Second Wind. I definitely would have rather had Beast Slayer than Balanced. Hagiomania and Dacnomania we'll want to get rid of. So let's head back to town. We're going to have to send some troopers in for a little bit of maintenance here. Django Fett is now a Tippler. He's no longer irrational, however. Florence Nightingale got back 86 stress from prayer. Alright, so our sort of B team actually did pretty well. Alright, oh, perfect. Well, we've got a Jester and a Houndmaster. So let's pick up both of those. We're going to need our Jester. I mean, come on. Jesters, we got to get a Jester in here. And when it comes to Jesters, if we can't have Whole Simpkin, by God, we're going to have Ed Growl and Poe's Hop Frog. If I can't have my Simpkin, my beautiful, beautiful fool, I'll have Hop Frog instead.
You will be laughing still.
And then we're also going to need a little Houndmaster. The Houndmaster has some interesting abilities. Hound's Rush, which is basically just a single target. One thing it is worthwhile to note, it lowers the enemy's protection status. Very good. Also has bonus damage against beasts. Hound's Harry, a very good skill. It's basically just, it does a 1-point bleed to every target in the enemy party. It hits all of them for a 1-point bleed. It has a chance to do some very, very minor damage as well. Target Whistle is basically marking for the dog, just makes his next attack do a big time damage buff with a penalty to dodge. Cry Havoc is a random stress heal for your party, heals one member of your party, or rather, it's much like the old Bard song used to be. It's a stress management attack, actually pretty good as well. Guard Dog, pretty good, gives you the ability to guard an ally, also gives the Houndmaster a huge bonus to his dodge stat. Lick Wounds is just a self-heal for the Houndmaster. And Blackjack, as you can see, a hugely penalized damage attack with a slight critical bonus that has a reasonable stun chance. It's actually not really that good. But we do have a boy and his dog here to come with us, and I think we're going to have to name this one Burrick. Ah, old Burrick and his faithful hound. Of course, Robin Hobb, fantastic author. If you haven't read her, I highly recommend it. So we're going to add Burrick to our team here, Burrick and his hound. Let's get him in. Sorted. And we're going to, speaking of sorted, resort our list there. That does refill our roster. And what we're going to do very quickly as well, let's just get all of this done in one swing. We're going to head to the guild. We are going to adjust our skills very much. I am not really much of a fan of Blackjack, but I do quite like Lick Wounds. You know what? I'm just going to pick up all his abilities here. This will give us an opportunity to test him out. We don't necessarily know what the meta we're going to like for the Houndmaster is, so we're just going to get him as varied as we can. Hop Frog, of course, also needs to go to the guild, and we're going to unlock all the songs. For my Jester builds, I got a pretty set build. I really, really like the singing Jesters. So we're going to go with Finale, Solo, little Battle Ballad, little Inspiring Tune. That's got Hop Frog sorted. We can probably readjust Burrick's skills while we're in here. Get rid of that. We'll pick up Lick Wounds instead. I do like these 4 skills. They work well from position 3 or 4, which gives them some versatility. Susan McAllister, of course, a little disappointing. Not sure when we're going to find time or really an ability to kind of EXP these guys. I think what we're going to have to do is try and limp them through some higher level dungeons to get them leveled up, which has its innate problems because they're going to take a bunch of stress for entering a higher level dungeon, and 2, they're going to be kind of boat anchoring our team, which could present itself as a pretty significant problem given the enhanced difficulty. Django actually still needs stress relief? Alright then. Well, Django's a Tippler. Let's send him back to the bar. Couple maintenance items we need to do here as well. We do want to start looking into locking in a few of these criticals and getting rid of some of these. One thing we do want to do with Randolph Carter, I love Fated, so I'm actually going to pay to lock Fated in. We're going to have that locked in. Roderick Usher, Clutch Hitter is good. Unholy Hater is good. Natural Swing is huge. I'm going to lock in Natural Swing. I'm actually going to start spending a little cash to start doing a little bit of lock in here. So we're going to lock Natural Swing in as well. Our treatment ward, of course, still requiring a little bit of upgrade because they did add some things, so we don't have quite... Why is this locked? At one... Yeah, okay, apparently that got de-upgraded when we... Because at one point we had all 3 of those unlocked, but clearly when they added the patient cells, we didn't get credit for any of those. It just reset them to 0. Alright. Understandable. It's a beta. It's not a full release yet, so that's a thing. I'd love to get in and lock in Fated or Clutch Hitter here as well, but no opportunity to do so. No one needs... Yeah, alright, so it looks like everything then's taken care of. Let's wrap this up. Things around the old Perfidious estate looking more difficult. We got a bit of a harder row to hoe, but we can also sharpen our hoes a bit. There's a chance to hone our skills and improve things. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up while I go look for a whetstone. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support really does mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, consider subscribing as well. We post new episodes 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.